and gentlemen, I'm Yumi in Anna. Today I'm going to talk about philosophy. As you know, my subject is philosophy, and especially the topic of my presentation is what's the intrinsic and extrinsic value in your life. It means what's the happiness in your life. So my presentation is divided mainly 5 sections. I'd like to start with the background, and then I will move on to intrinsic and extrinsic and a neutral value. And finally, I'd like to mention conclusion. Let's start with the definition and the meaning. What's the happiness? There's no correct meaning, but according to Oxford Advanced Learner's Dictionary, happiness means the good feeling that you have when you feel good or when you have achieved something. And there are 2 famous Greek philosophers. One of them is Aristotle, and another one is Plato. Aristotle is a student of Plato, and 2 of them work on the question, what's the happiness? And in general, there are 2 kinds of happiness. One of them is the happiness as for a state of mind. This is something you feel pleasure or positive emotional condition. And another one is a happiness for a life that goes well. It means the happiness to look for the quality of life. So it means first one is intrinsic value, and the next second one is extrinsic value. So what's the intrinsic value? This is the happiness, and something brings you happiness directly. So it means the happiness and the value has the value in itself. So you can feel happiness soon. So especially you feel happy like by doing something directly. So that's why this value is psychological matter, and in terms of the value in itself and psychological sense, this is subjective and personal value. For example, there are 3 examples. Listening to the music and diving, taking photography. This is my hobbies, and for me, this is intrinsic value because I feel happy when I do all of them, because all of them have the value for me in itself. So this is me, and this circular is my hobby. So I feel happiness directly because, as I said now, all of them, my hobby, have value in itself. By contrast, extrinsic value, it has the happiness, but it's a little bit different from intrinsic value because this value is happiness for achieving something in the future. So even if you can't feel happiness soon or directly or now, but you might be able to feel happiness in the future. So in other words, extrinsic value is the happiness to look for and improve the quality of life. So compare with intrinsic value, this is objective and social. And people prefer to intrinsic value because intrinsic value gives you happiness soon rather than extrinsic value. However, according to Aristotle, human being needs extrinsic value as well as intrinsic value because human being is an animal who try to look for the aim, and so if you try to do something, and even if you can't feel happiness at the moment, but in the future you feel happiness, And this is the aim of human being. For example, working, studying, and doing something you have to do. Maybe most of people don't like to study hard, because it's difficult to find and feel happiness through all of them working, studying. However, through working and through studying, you feel happiness. It means even if you can't feel happiness at the moment, but working every day, studying hard, and doing something you have to do bring you happiness and value in the future. Because working every day makes you get money, studying hard makes you get knowledge, and doing something you have to do makes you gives you achievement. And if you can achieve and accomplish something, you can be proud of yourself, and you can find the value and the meaningful of life. So extrinsic value is in long term, but in the future, if you keep doing something, even if you have difficulties, in the future you feel happiness through all of them. And we have neutral value. It means the mixture of intrinsic and extrinsic value. For example, there are two examples. One of them is to exercise. Most of people like to do sports and exercise, because exercise makes you feel refreshed. You can refresh by doing exercise. Besides, this is intrinsic value, and as an extrinsic value, it is good for your health. And another example is travel. People like go abroad and travel because it's many people have like travel as a hobby. And besides, if you go abroad, if you go to somewhere you don't know, you are able to learn something new, and you can learn and meet many people and find something new that you didn't know. So neutral, sometimes we have the neutral value, which are a mixture of intrinsic and extrinsic value. So in conclusion, intrinsic value is generally emotional, because, as I said before, intrinsic value is pleasure or positive emotion, and extrinsic value is relatively logical, because it is you have to do something. You work, you study, and even if you don't want to, but in your brain you think, oh, I have to do, because you know by doing something you have to do, and if you accomplish, you feel happiness. And as a similarity, both bring happiness and value of life. And even if difficulties, and even if something you don't like to do, everything in the world, everything is related to happiness. So remember, even if you have any difficulties or some problem, it could be a source of happiness. And this is my references, and if you are interested in, please check. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
What time? 9 minutes. Almost 10 minutes. Oh, it's safe. Out.
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think according to my
8 to
clock
10.
it is.
Like 8 to 10.
Yeah, it was over 8 minutes and it was less than 10 minutes, so I think you're okay. So,
But
okay.
it's not question. But the question will be time longer.
Oh.
No, the presentation should be within the time limit. Now,
Yeah.
questions is extra.
Sure.
So, okay. Who's got a question?
Do you have any questions?
Yes.
Maria.
Yeah. It's interesting presentation. Can I ask how about your opinion about happiness?
Happiness.
Yeah.
So, as I said, intrinsic value has a meaning and value.
Yeah.
So I personally feel happiness easily.
Yeah.
But I think like even presentation, I don't like presentation, but in the process of making presentation and in process of making PowerPoint, I can learn about happiness.
Yeah,
And now I finished my presentation. This could be happiness. So even difficulties and like even if something I don't like and problem, these could lead to happiness. So do you know I know one term in Christianity is fortunate fool. It means even if you have unfortunate, but it could be fortunate.
Yeah.
So fortunate fool.
Yeah.
Fool is unfortunate, but this fool could be
Maybe.
fortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope I know.
Thank you.
Yeah. Sana.
It's depends on the nature of person. Some person they suffering from problems and then life, but also they laughing and they look the life. And other person they have everything easy, everything dream about it, they get it, but they upset and they go for clinic to take for this for medication for stress or
Depression.
depression, yeah. So it's depends on the nature of the person.
Yeah, and if I want the people to know my presentation and then what's the happiness, because if people know everything leads to happiness, people might change their mind and they might be able to find something and the best way to solve their problem. So it depends, but if people know the problem and what's the question, they might be able to change something in their life, I think.
Thank you.
Can I see your list of references, please? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice one.